Hey gang, it's Maria here from hockeytrainingpro.com, and I'm with my friend Justin Goldman, who, like a lot of you are my friends. This is the first time I've ever met him, but we're in Toronto at the Eli Wilson goaltending camp. And so I took the drive up this morning, and we just sat down and had a little chat. Dave Hutchison from In Goal Mag's over there too. He's hiding, he's shy. He's having a bad hair day today, he says, so he's not coming on. But
I have those every day, yeah. It's okay.
Me too, story of my life, I just get used to it. But Justin was kind enough to give me a free copy of his new book, The Power Within, Discovering the Path to Elite Goaltending. And so we wanted to sit down and just ask him a little bit about like what's in the book.
Right.
I guess let's start there. Tell people what they can expect if they pick up a copy.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Valley, who's the goalie coach for the Dallas Stars, and I work together to basically establish a visual framework or a visual identity for what the mental position is all about, the mental side of goaltending is all about. And so we kind of sat down with some NHL goaltenders and discussed this topic. And you know, you always hear that goaltending is 90% mental, but we really only spend maybe 10% of our time when it comes to goalie training, whether it's on or off the ice, on the mental side of the position. So because it's such a key element to successful goaltending and elite goaltending, we just felt it was really important for goalies to have something that they could tactically read and look through and spend time understanding what some NHL goaltenders have gone through when it comes to developing their mental game.
Yeah.
And so the visual framework that we created is something called the 3 pillars of elite goaltending. And it's basically just a nice simple Venn diagram that's at the beginning of the book that lays out how important it is to have balance between not only your physical elements, but your spiritual and your emotional and your mental elements as well when it comes to goaltending. So it's kind of a 360-degree view of what it takes to be one of the best goalies in the world. And then we actually sat down with 9 or 10 different NHL goalies and NHL goalie coaches, guys like Pekka Rinne, Nashville Predators, Nicholas Backstrom, Richard Bachman, and then a couple of NHL coaches like Mitch Korn, that's now with Washington, and Eric Granqvist, who's one of the top goalies in Sweden, and asked them about these different elements. How did they get through pressure? How do they get over playing a bad game? What do they do to prepare for playing in a big tournament or a big game? So these are the components that really make up the book. They're great interviews, great insights from Mike Valley. I wrote a few of my own chapters and helped edit and put the thing together, but it's really just, again, establishing a visual framework so goalies can start to understand how important it is to have a sound mental and emotional game.
Yeah. And how did you and Mike sort of get working together and kind of come up with the idea, or how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I've been very fortunate to have the opportunity to interact with NHL goalie coaches over the last 3 or 4 years. And you know, social media is so huge these days. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I never would have had that opportunity. But through the Goalie Guild, you know, Mike Valley did a little research and wanted to know more about my background, and basically just called me up one day, and I was honored to hear from an NHL goalie coach. And it turns out we just had a lot of the same ideas in terms of how important it is to have that sound mental and emotional game. And me as a writer, you know, I studied journalism at Colorado State University, and writing a book was kind of high on my bucket list. So have the opportunity to sit down with him and spend a couple of years, you know, putting the ideas together, setting up the interviews, which was a little bit of a difficult task because we were working on this during the NHL lockout, and so guys are, you know, off with their families, and we wanted to be, you know, conscientious of that. But you know, it took a couple of years. We continued to refine it, and it's kind of like the process of being an elite goalie. You have to continually refine what you're working on and build it up into, you know, hopefully a solid piece of gold there. And so we feel like with this book, we gave goalies the opportunity to finally have something that they can read that's completely dedicated to the elite goaltender, to developing goalies that you work with, goalies that are at Eli Wilson's camp, and giving them, again, some type of a visual framework or a visual foundation for understanding how important it is to have balance between not only your technical skills, but your mental skills and, of course, your emotional skills. I think the emotional skills is something that really gets lost when it comes to being a developing goaltender and developing your skill set. It's so much connected to the mind and body, but at the same time, you have to be able to control your emotions and manage your emotions as well.
Yeah, and you know, as you get higher and higher, it gets even more important because you know, the higher levels, you know, most of the top guys are doing all the physical stuff and nutrition, but so it gets to be more and more mental. Justin, people can visit your website at thegoalieguild.com, and it's, if you're a goalie, you know it, you go to it anyways already. Where can people pick up the book if they're interested?
Amazon.com is the best way to get it because they'll ship the book in a couple of days. You just search the book title, it's right there. Again, the co-author is obviously Mike Valley. It's really his brainchild, and I just did my best to edit it as well as I possibly could, and add a few chapters and a few of my own thoughts on things like egolessness and obviously meditations in there.
Yeah.
We feel meditation is something that we're seeing more and more NHL goalies start to add to their routine, and again, it's something that goalies at any age can do to help clear their mind. So it's just little things like that, little tools, little tasks that, again, you see these guys doing it at the elite level, so why not start to incorporate those things if you're 15, 14, 16, 17 years old, whatever the case may be. So Amazon.com is pretty much the best place to find it, and I definitely appreciate you chatting and supporting the book and stuff. So.
No, that's great, because I like that it sort of lets goalies know that even the pros have struggled through the same things, but then I like that it gives you people tools that they can actually use, and even some of the adult goalies that we work with, they're just as passionate. So Justin, thanks so much for taking the time out to sit down with me. This is Maria from hockeytrainingpro.com. The book is The Power Within: Discovering the Path to Elite Goaltending.